Monday morning. Well, I don't even know if it's technically still morning anymore, but I realize I'm a little late. But you know what, guys? I don't care. It's one of those days. So let's just go ahead, do what we do, dive in, and step into the goddess realm. What can I say? I am feeling those holiday week vibes. No, honestly, the truth is I got on a roll late last night and I just stayed up really late. So I told my hubby, I said, guess what? I'm going to bed late tonight. That means I'm sleeping in the morning. So, everything's going to happen tomorrow. It's just going to be a bit delayed. So, hey guys, thanks for being patient with me. I hope your day is going amazing so far. Happy Monday. It is a holiday week. So that's always nice, right? Hopefully you have today off. If not today, then at least part of tomorrow. But anyway, lots of fireworks, all that good jazz. And make sure to stay hydrated. I don't know where you're at, but it's crazy hot here. So stay hydrated and make smart choices when it comes to your sugary drinks and your alcoholic drinks and all that good jazz. Remember, you have goals. Remember that we are working to upgrade our bodies from that, dial-up connection to that T1 connection so that we can get greater speeds of light. And so we don't want to necessarily be throwing a bunch of things that are going to depress them or dampen them or slow them down, right? Total wellness is mind, body, spirit. All right, so that's all I have for this holiday week. Let's go ahead and dive in, y'all. I got some water in here. Here we go. Chug-a-lug, hit like when you're done. You know the deal. Please excuse my nails. I'm so embarrassed. It's one of those things where, like, I pulled out everything and I'm like, I'm going to do my nails. I'm going to do my nails. Okay, it's another day past. Thank you, God. Thank you to our angels. Thank you to our goddesses, our guides, our fairies for all the amazing gifts and instruction that you've been giving us. You've been so clear and concise. Thank you. We ask that you continue to guide and direct our messages. Make them applicable to each of us. Help us to understand what it is that you want for each of us in our individual lives, where it is that we are to be going, and what it is we're to be working on in order to move to the next step, to reach that mountaintop. We ask that anyone who hears this message be blessed by it, and all these many things we ask in unconditional love. Amen. Okay, y'all, let's go ahead and dive in. And oh my goodness, I haven't even checked my phone to make sure that we are actually, live. Let's see here. And then we will dive in, make sure my volume is down. Of course it is not. Now it is. All right, where is our morning message coming from today? Where is our morning message coming from? Good morning, Javon, Andrea, and Nicole. I am so glad y'all are here today. And I feel like there might be somebody else on the line, but I can't see ya. But hey, guys, I'm sorry that it's so late today, but again, thank you for joining me. Where's our message coming from? What is it that we need in the goddess realm? We're going to talk to our goddesses. Our guidesses, as I like to say lately. Thank you to our goddesses. We had a really just specific and clear message yesterday that was so direct. Like, turn left, stand up, sit down, jump up and down, turn around, clap 3 times. It was just very clear and direct. This is what you're to be doing, and this is how, and this is why. And I think, one of the things that I experienced with myself yesterday, one of the messages we got in particular was to play, right, guys? Was to not only to get into that mind state of we are on, we use the analogy of we're already in the kingdom. We're not on the outside hoping to get our invite into the kingdom. We are inside the kingdom. This is our kingdom. We are thriving. So from this point, we begin to practice. We practice from the state of I am, right? I'm already where I want to be. I am the person who my life purpose leads me to be, who I'm meant to be, who I want to be. I am that person who contains all the confidence and strength that is needed to move forward, right? And also we got the message to continue to do research, right? But we noticed that the research wasn't, necessarily in a library or wasn't necessarily in school. Like the fairy she was cuddled up next to her bookworm and she was chilling and she was studying things that she enjoyed. We kind of got the impression of, maybe she was studying manners of the heart. And then our final card, a fairy card in particular, was telling us to get out and dance and play. And as we get out and dance and play and we be free and we nurture that divine inner goddess, that the answers that we've had, that so many questions, the answers begin to come. And really what we found in particular was just that state of being the I am who I am. I am goddess life. I am walking in my life purpose. Not I'm waiting to get there, but I am there and I'm practicing from that standpoint and I'm seeing myself from here. And I'm continuing to study to hone my skills. It gives me greater confidence. But in doing so, we allow ourselves to dare to dream, right? To be free. And in doing so, the universe starts to bring us our answers. And then we switched over to our divine circus deck, who told us straight up, hey, by the way, those things that you're worried about, your past, you're worried about people not taking you seriously, you're worried about people looking at you being like, oh, but didn't you used to be a blah, blah, and blah? That those things are those things to be proud of, to be embraced, because those are the things that give you your unique perspective. And to use those things, those are some of the things that are going to propel you forward, to fully integrate them. We don't look at those from a lack standpoint anymore. We understand that that is a part of us, and we are fully integrating our entire selves, because we've healed the pain. We've healed the trauma, we've healed the drama, we've healed the ego, right? Now we're integrating divine masculine and divine feminine to be the sun child. And in doing so, our divine circus took it a step further to tell us that death will not overcome him, in the sense that there may be parts of our lives that we've looked at in the past and we thought, man, this would be awesome. And then as life came and maybe we got beat up by life a little bit, we just started to let those feelings or those hopes or those dreams kind of wither away, kind of die. And that card reminded us that there is plenty, there is an abundance of life on this earth. And that all we need to do is open up to it, understand, get into that state of the I am, the play, the understanding, the studying, letting those answers flow to us, and the universe will breathe life back into those areas of life that we once thought were dead or that were stagnant, or maybe because I went through this, and this, I no longer am eligible to do that. The universe is telling us, hey, I want to show you something miraculous and amazing. So this is why we've been guided to let go of how it has to happen, let go of the attachment of how, and just to let it flow, to let it come, to understand that we create, right? We are constantly creating at all times. So now that we are keeping our unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions, we are focusing from a place of the I am, that I am in the kingdom, that I am walking my highest goddess life. Now I'm just refining it. I'm fine-tuning it, enhancing it, honing my skills, increasing my confidence. As I do so, the answers just flow, and so does the life within me. So, whew, that was a lot, guys. Let's guide us in. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive in. Oh, Javon. Okay, Javon says she was in the middle of yesterday's message but wanted to see this live. I'm glad you are here. And the awesome part is, boom, there's your recap. So let's go ahead and dive in. Goddesses, what do you have for us today? What amazing direction do you have for us today? Because I know it is going to be amazing. I'm really not even sure how many cards we're getting. Thank you, dear goddesses. All right, I need to rephrase this. What further instruction do you have for the goddess realm? We know what it is that we're to be, that we're to sing, to dance, to play, that this upcoming getaway, this trip, this retreat might be within us. What do we need to know about that? I'm going to start here. Wow, guys. Okay. Okie dokie then. I don't want to call it my favorite card, but I talk about it every single day. Diana, focused intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will reach your mark. You will make your mark. Make, reach, make. Same thing. You get the point. Focused intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions on your target, and you will reach your mark. You will make your mark. Nicole says, love that recap. I missed yesterday's message, but I spent the day digging deep and studying into the study of consciousness and quantum everything. Well, then you probably didn't miss the message. You were actually doing the message. That is so awesome. You were literally doing the message. So you're good to go, babe. Javon says, LOL, should I mention that I'm packing to leave for an overnight camping trip? Wow. That is so awesome. And literally in yesterday's message, it said a getaway, a retreat, a vacation, a holiday, I believe was the word it used as opposed to vacation. And one of the things that we noticed in particular was that she was not only near water, but that she was playing on the water. She was dancing, just being joyful. So one of the things that I would just take that kind of literal and direct for you, Javon. Especially if you have a chance to get into the water, or maybe just put your feet in the water, that natural water, if there's a creek, a lake, something that you're by, to really connect with that water and allow yourself to daydream in nature. Yesterday's message, dare to dream. Dare to dream. Thank you, goddesses. What message do you have for us? Cut the deck. Okay. No, cut the deck. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. Cordelia, go outside. You have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. Speaking of going camping, you have been outside too long. Or excuse me, you have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. And again, guys, one of the things I really love about this is campsite is next to a lake. That is awesome. One of the things I really love about this in particular is that this is a holiday week. And so hopefully most people have at least a portion of tomorrow off. It's a time when, opportunity really presents itself to get outside. And one of the things, again, that I love about this, and we've talked about this in the past, is that Cordelia in particular, I'm seeing not just the sun in terms of she's outdoors, right? But she's also under the moonlight and near water. So what I really get from that is just balance, 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 balance. Balancing our lives, balancing our energy, balancing ourselves, balancing our nutrient intake for that matter. You know, we spend a lot of time, a lot of us, I'm just as guilty when I'm home, and I hate to say this, it's something that I admit that I probably need to work on. Not probably, now that I'm saying it, I guess I will work on. I am either in front of my computer, I am in front of my phone, or I am in front of the TV. And now we have all of that fake, artificial, electromagnetic light and blah, blah, blah blasting us. So not only is it jacking with our eyesight, but it's just jacking with our energy field as well. So making sure that we balance that by getting back out in nature and getting out in the sun, maybe spending some time with the moon at night. You know, getting near nature, just balancing ourselves out. If we're feeling that we're one way, to balance the other direction. Does that make sense? And not only do we have, water, in this picture, but we also have land as well. So, I mean, really what I'm getting from this is balance, 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 balance. All right. And what do we always say? Total wellness, mind, body, and spirit. So giving our bodies and our minds and our spirits the balance that they need. Not only balancing within each other, but balance them individually. Oh, where are we going? Stay here. Okay. Ishtar, boundaries. Love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. Love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. And really, for me, what I am hearing is, or seeing, is this leading right back to Diana, focused intention. Sometimes we get so caught up in being the hero that we put our own stuff on the back burner. And I am 8,000% guilty of that. So this card screams at me right now, personally, too. But love ourselves enough to say no to others' demands on our time and energy. And one of the things that I think that we have to remember with this is, remember, we are being told, we're being guided, led, directed to let our light shine, to be the lighthouse. And if we are bogged down in other people's stuff, we can't let our light shine. Now, that's not to say we just cut everybody off and just, I do me, boo, and that's it. It's to say, again, we're balancing, right? But to find that balance, to create boundaries to where you know, okay, at this point, I have to do this because I need to make sure this is done for me. That may even mean, I think for someone in particular, I don't know who, so I'm not calling anybody out, but for someone in particular, that may mean things like shutting your phone off or shutting your social media down, you know, a couple of hours before bed, because now maybe you're dwelling or thinking about the things that you saw or heard or are coming through, and you're caught up in these conversations and you're taking that to bed with you, and now it's permeating kind of all night, so to speak, or it's causing a distraction for you. So you may need to have clear-cut boundaries for yourself, with yourself, maybe with other people. All right. So really, I'm getting from that again is more balance and more balance. And in doing so, and in living a more balanced life, maintaining our boundaries, it gives us a greater opportunity to hone our entire self, focused intention, mind, body, and spirit on our target. And again, guys, I can't stress this enough. We are acting from the standpoint of the I am, right? We're not waiting to be invited into the party. We are the life of the party, right? So if your life purpose is to be a photographer and you're still maybe yet to buy your first camera, I don't want you to think of yourself as an aspiring photographer. I want you to think of yourself as a photographer who creates excellent photos out of what they have. And you buying your first camera is you honing in and expanding your already innate abilities, right? If that is your life purpose, it is already within you. You are already it. Does that make sense, guys? Give me some heads up. Let me know if that makes sense. Drea says, this is the message I was waiting for. I am loving myself to make decisions that hurt my heart, but I have to break the cycle of abuse somehow. I totally understand. Thank you guys for giving me some heads up. So this is really, I think, for us, just even more and more direction, clear cut of how to move forward. Because I think a big question is, how do I move forward? How do I move forward? What am I supposed to be doing? Where am I supposed to be going? Okay, you're telling me to be in my life purpose, but how do I move forward? Here's your clear-cut direction. Today, your focus, let go of how you think it's supposed to happen, of the expectation of how it's supposed to happen, and just focus on what you need to do to get tighter and tighter into your goddess walk, into your goddess life, into your goddess self, into your I am. Whatever your I am is for you. For me, y'all know, hashtag I am goddess life. You know, whatever your I am is for you in your life. Set the boundaries, whether it be boundaries within yourself or boundaries with others around you. And it gives you the opportunity to be more balanced and to focus your whole intention from that state of I am, mind, body, and spirit, thoughts, feelings, and actions. Everything that you do, your entire self, your entire thought process is based off of this understanding that I am. Right? Does that make sense, guys? And I don't want to sound dramatic, but really what I'm really seeing our guides doing for us is helping us to further hone in our soul's vibration, to further hone in what it is that we are putting out in the world. Because again, remember, we are creating at all times. But in the past, we've gotten so many ups and downs, and maybe for some of us, more downs than ups, and more haphazard, inconsistent, quote unquote, manifestations, because we've been so inconsistent because we didn't know what the hell we were feeling or how to control it or what it was. So now what we're really doing is we're coming more and more into, you know, our esoteric power. And again, I'm going to jump back. A goddess uses her knowledge of universal laws of nature, her conscious mind, and her esoteric powers to manifest her dreams. So again, universal laws of nature. her conscious mind, her esoteric powers. What are we being told? Focus absolutely every core of your soul being on your target, and you will make your mark. Mind, body, and spirit, in your thoughts, in your feelings, and in your actions. Go outside. Balance yourself. Balance your magnetic field, your electromagnetic field. Nicole, you were just studying quantum physics. Boom, baby. You can't study quantum physics without going into the quanta and understanding how each thing that we are putting out affects, what it is, what we are attracting back to us. Understanding, and as we understand just our physical bodies as a whole, why we need to be doing yoga, why we need to be exercising, why we need to be eating healthy, high vibrational foods, why we need to be taking in water, because it helps us to conduct more literal electricity. And I mean like literal, like drag your feet on the carpet, touch a socket, or touch metal electricity. We are electric beings. Think about this, guys, because sometimes we think about electricity in this kind of far off, imagination, energy, the energy. I could feel her energy, but we have to remember how literal energy is. If a person's heart stops beating and paramedics come, what do? They shock their heart with electricity. We are electric beings. Some people have a hard time wearing watches because of their electromagnetic field. Some people, and we have to understand how that translates out into the spiritual realms, into our other bodies, our other subtle bodies. And so some people, are just really magnetic personalities. Wherever they go, people are drawn to them. That's their electromagnetic field, that's another story. I'm going to save that for another day. But anyway, guys, so I really want us to understand how literal electricity, or not electricity, but energy is within us. And so when we are now focusing all of that electricity, all of that energy, all of that vibe, all of that, not even trying to be funny, but we are focusing it unwavering on our thoughts, feelings, and actions, on our target, on what it is that we want, on our clear intentions of the heart. And I go there. Okay, keep it short. So when I say of the heart is really, I believe, if I'm saying this correctly, I want to make sure I'm saying it correctly, the powerhouse of the electromagnetic field. So if we are focusing all of our energy, all of our intention into this heart-focused electromagnetic field, then we can't help but to attract that back to us. And when you start to study science, that's what I so much love about science. And when you start studying consciousness and getting into, like Nicole said, getting into quantum physics and quantum mechanics, because it literally explains God. The two are not separate. You're like, holy cow, I really am that freaking powerful. I'm really not separate from the I am. I really can control. I really do create. Okay, guys, I don't want to go off on too big of a tangent. Okay, good. Dre says makes sense. So one of the things, I guess not one of the things, what I really want to do is just recap again how important these things are. We are getting clear-cut guidance and direction on what to do, how to do it, and why to do it. We are being told to focus our entire core self. And look at Diana. Where is she? She's standing like up in the tower. She's got the bird's eye view. She's not standing from a place of defeat. She's not at the bottom of the mountain in the foothills trying to, see her way towards the target at the top. Diana is at the top and she's like, nah, I can see exactly what I want. Right? She's in the place of the I am. And she's focused her unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions. So that means making sure, again, that we're doing the things physically to make sure that our body can conduct the electricity. You know how a lot of times when we're excited about things and we're like, oh my God, I'm buzzing. We use so many words. So many people use words and don't truly understand what they're saying, And then we start to come into this understanding, this conscious realm of understanding energy and law of attraction type things and universal law. And then we still, again, tend to view things separate. but not ever realizing that that is us. When you understand, you know, when they break molecules down to their finest, smallest, beyond the atom, it is a quanta. We are made up of the quanta. And when you understand, again, when you start getting into the things like, for me, what was the real icebreaker for me was studying the double slit experiment. And so if y'all want an easy explanation of that, let me know. Send me a PM and I will send you some info on that. But it just blew my mind wide open. I'm like, oh, when you observe the particle, or when you observe the wave, then you can collapse it into the particle. And we're talking about particles of matter, physical things, paper, you know. You can collapse the wave, the thought, the words, the emotion, that's the wave, into a particle, physical matter. So when you start studying the science of this stuff, guys, it gets so amazing. Now here's the problem. Most of us were not observing. So we were just sending out waves and collapsing particles. And then we do start to observe, but we observe from a place of lack, from a place of fear, from a place of distrust, from a place of illusion. Because again, Archangel Chamuel reminds us that only love is real. So now we're being shown how to observe from a place of the I am. And when you observe that wave, when you put out that wave and you observe it and you collapse it into the physical life of exactly what you want. You bring about those things in your physical world, right? So this, again, guys, I know I'm going a little off tangent here, but no, I'm just gonna be with that. Yeah, going a little off tangent, and that's where we're gonna go, because I want to start taking this a lot deeper. Actually, that is the reason why I was up till 4 this morning. I actually got so much work done, and like the energy was flowing, and I was like, oh my gosh, here's the next class. Here's the next class. And so in doing so, these things were going to start moving much, much, much deeper. And so I guess this is kind of a taste of where we're headed. Drea says it touches on that true story of what government did in one of our wars. Very interesting movie. Research on it even more so. Oh, our governments are fully aware. Like, this is not anything like, you know, spooky or hidden or top secret. The thing of it is just most of us don't understand how much we are compounded and affected by all the stuff that comes at us. And I mean stuff in terms of electromagnetic energy. So literally the flicker rates in the TV and in, you know, the videos and what have you are literally programming people's minds and programming their consciousness. People are so completely tuned into something that is not of themselves. And it is so incredibly low vibrational, which is why they are stuck in these mindsets of fear and these mindsets of lack and this mindset of illusion. A lot of this, unfortunately, is intentional. But we recognize that, which is why we are being called to let our light shine, to help show these people. Because let's face it, most people, you know, you could tell them, and this is true story, most of you probably know this for a fact. Maybe you've been working out or you've been doing something in your life, and people see you working out every day and they're like, all right, cool, all right, I wish she quit posting on Facebook, which is how this group got started. But then all of a sudden when they look over and they're like, holy crap, she went from a 16 to a 6. When they can physically see it with their eyes, a lot of times after the fact, then they're like, hey, so can you tell me what you did? How do I get started? Same thing, guys, with us walking in our life purpose, with us honing in all of our mind, body, and spirit, our unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions on our heart's true desire, on our life purpose, on building our life's purpose. We let our light shine, and as a result, things begin to come. And as we're doing it, people are going, oh yeah, she's cool. You know, she looks like she's in a good mood today. Cool. Yep, she's still working out. Oh yeah, look like she meditated today. Right on. Oh, okay, yeah, she's speaking her positive I am statement. Right on. And then all of a sudden they look around and they're like, whoa, how did she quit her job, get a new car, a new house, and, blah, blah, and blah? Who does that? Now all of a sudden they're coming to you going, hey, so I've been noticing you've been really different on Facebook lately. You've got a different glow, a different thing about you. Does that make sense, guys? We are using our God-given ability to create that which it is that we want, that we desire. And it's not only about what we want and we desire, because we're going after our hearts. We're working in our life purpose. So what we want and what we desire is not only yay for us, but it helps for everybody else too. All right, Nicole says, double slit experiment, best place to start. Yes. Darius says, you ever see the movie Men Who Stare at Goats? Yes, I have seen that movie. I like that movie. That was a movie that when I first saw that really just kind of piqued a little curiosity. At the time, it made sense and I didn't doubt it, but I wasn't there yet. But yes, I forgot about that movie. I think I'll actually go back to that. Drea says, it touches on that, true story of what the government did. Yes, there we go. Sorry, I missed that first part. Yes, you were so right. Nicole says, another movie is What the Bleep Do We Know? I'm not familiar with that one. I'll definitely have to check that one out. But yes, you guys, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, what we're talking about is not weird. It's not spooky. The reason why, again, I say that I'm so thrilled that we don't have a big crowd right now, because there are people who are coming and going from the group. Some people send me messages and they're concerned that this is moving away from, or that this is against their religion, and I completely respect that. I've come full circle on religion. Literally, I've had every feeling about religion, and I've come full circle to it, and I absolutely respect religion. I think that it is something that is necessary in the world for some people. Not everyone, I think, is meant to have all of the information at the same time. And there are some people, again, we know, who have this information and who use it, for their own selfish gain. We kind of like the 1%ers, what have you, the powers that be, the energies that control this earth. This isn't mysticism. I mean, at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, this is straight up science, right? But unfortunately, we have been conditioned in society to be in a place of servitude, or to be in a place of always looking outside of self for help, whether we're seeking help from our government for financial assistance, whether we're seeking help from our government for protection and security with Homeland Security, whether we're seeking a blessing from the Most High, whether we are seeking advice from a counselor. And I'm not saying that any one of those things are bad. I'm not at all saying that. They just are. But what I am saying is rarely are we taught to look within ourselves. Rarely are we molded and shaped to understand that we already have the answers, that we know. A lot of times kids go through school and they take things like aptitude tests. I remember taking them, and then they kind of tell you, well, you're great at science and math, so you might want to be over here. That person might be great at science and math, but at the end of the day, it may be totally incongruent to their heart, to their life's purpose. And then we wonder why we have people who, by all seemingly manners, who are highly educated, who have every opportunity in the world, but then wind up homeless. Because, maybe because and they're okay being homeless. There are a lot of people out there like that, because this was so far away from their core person, even though they were good at it, but they were shoved into it, that they would rather be free and live on the streets than to be shoved up in corporate America, or shoved in a laboratory. Does that make sense, guys? So rarely are we learned to hear our own voice, to listen, to make that mind-body connection, that mind-body-spirit connection. because we, all throughout life, we view those things, we're taught that they are separate things. You go to church for that. There's separation of church and state. I'm sorry, we don't do that. You go to church for that. You don't do that at school. You do this at school, but then we have Sunday school, but never do the two shall meet. You know what I'm saying? Or you do this over here at the gym. But, how often are we, doing Sunday school, gym, and this at the same time? Does that make sense, guys? Drea says, not weird at all. I felt these things since I was a young child, even as a Catholic born and raised. I've never felt right limiting my own power, as in my mind, that was limiting God's power. I always looked at it weirdly and isolated. Yeah, I knew that I was on to something. I believe that is why the subject of psychology was always fascinated me. Our brains hold so much we haven't even tapped into, like the movie Split, and what the doctor touches on with MPD and how our brains can manifest these things. Yes, and yes, and more yes. And Nicole says, yes, makes so much sense. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. And it just, for me, even with religion as a kid, it was little things that just didn't add up to me. Like, I even remember thinking as a kid, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the map. Do you remember old Bibles used to have maps in them, like different throughout the Bible, and they were always the glossy pages? And I would look at Bethlehem, I would look at Egypt, I would look at all these places, and I'm like, Jesus came from Africa. And even as a child, I knew that the Middle Easterns the Africans that lived in those regions then don't look like the Africans that live there now. Egyptians now are actually fairly fair complected. They can be somewhat kind of light complected. Whereas the Egyptians that lived back then, were darker than me and had thick, coarse hair. And then I'm literally sitting in Sunday school and I'm going, but this Jesus on the wall has blonde hair and blue eyes. That don't make no sense. Like, it was just little things here and there. And I'm like, okay. And then I got older and I read where the Bible said that he looked a certain kind of way. And I'm like, I kind of feel like that doesn't match this picture over here. Then when I got to be a grown adult and I started really just making an effort to go to church on my own, it wasn't so much that I was going because, my mom was making me. Now I'm a grown adult. This was even after I moved to Texas. And I'm going to church and I'm just reading, and God's telling us how we have all of his power. He's given us power and dominion over everything over on this earth. And he's telling us all in the book of John 15. I'm reading this in tears about how he sees us the same way he sees Jesus. But yet I'm walking around like, why is it my life is going so crazy? Why is it you're telling me I have all this power, yet I feel so unempowered? Why are you telling me I have power, but I have to wait for a blessing? And then when I really started to study, what got me was I started studying history. And I'm like, well, where did Christianity come from? Because I've been studying these other ancient sciences, and Christianity came way after those. And then once I started studying man's portion of it, I'm like, I see now why man came in and put the power and control over the people. Some people actually needed it. Some people can't handle this information. Some people would be running amok. But on the flip side of the coin, there's man is fallible, and there's the arrogance of man, and there's that power and control that came in with quote unquote religion. So again, I don't have anything bad to say about religion. One of the things that I find that there are some very highly blessed, religious folks out there. And what I notice is that those people are doing the same thing that we're doing. They are literally keeping their unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on a target objective. They are operating from the place of the I am, that this is already handled. The only difference is we are going within. They're going with that, or outside. So if the result is the same for them, who am I to judge it and to knock it? All I can say is for me and myself, I'm not in a position, I don't find myself in a understanding of, or in a position to where I find it necessary to go outside of myself. I don't put myself above anything or anyone. I just understand that I am connected to the infinite. And again, the Bible talks all about that. Y'all, one person who I like to share with people, if you ever have trouble kind of conveying this to someone who is perhaps deeply rooted in their faith, it's not our job to unroot them from their faith. It is not at all our job to unroot them from their faith. What our job is to help shed light so that they have a more successful life for them, however it is meant for them to be. But one person in particular that I always share is Neville Goddard. And Neville Goddard, what is amazing is he just has an amazing way of breaking down the Bible, where God is literally telling you, you're me. You're not separate from me. You have all the power that I have. And when you speak it in literally the whole essence of every lecture, and I've heard hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of Neville Goddard, and the essence of every story, of every lecture, of every point is keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target. Operate from the place of the I am. I already have this done. I have already created this. This has already happened. I'm just waiting for it to show up in my natural life. It's already done. There is no wavering thought, doubt, inkling of anything in my mind. I know from a fact in my core being. And time after time after time after time, 2 days later, boop, an hour later, boop, maybe next week, boop. Keeping your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions on your target, and you will reach your mark. Dre says, we've talked about that. Wasn't Da Vinci that painted the yeah, I remember the conversation. Nicole, Kemet. Nicole, I wasn't going to go there, but yeah. Yeah. Javon says, was just reading Become Who You Are by Alan Watts this morning. Touches on this idea. That is so amazing. So, I think that we're all just really feeling this same groove. We're moving in the same direction. We're on this same mindset. And the biggest thing, again, guys, that I want to really reiterate with this is I know that my message is not for everyone. And I'm not even going to say my message. I know that the message that is delivered through me is not for everyone. That if you're hearing this, there's a specific reason why. And again, you are in a position, you're in a place, you're in a mindset, you are being called to let your light shine, to lead with that loving heart first, to follow your life's purpose, to trust. And one of the big messages that I got in my personal meditation today was not only in trusting, but to just remember to feel that support, to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are in the kingdom, that the inside the kingdom gates, inside the wall, that you have all the luxuries that life has afforded, available. You have them for you, and that everything that you want is yours. The universe fully supports you, mind, body, and spirit. It fully supports your behind in this physical world so that you have a place to live, a car to drive, food to eat, nourishment. It supports your mind in keeping you encouraged, in helping you to remember your task, your goal, what it is that I'm staying focused on today, even though the Snow Queen is popping up in the back of my mind. You're fully supported in understanding that you're not on this spiritual journey alone. There are many, 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 many souls who are waiting to meet up and to commune and to speak and to be with you, whether it be here physically, on earth, or, in terms of us, in Facebook and we can talk, or whether it be in your spiritual place, in your quiet space, in your sacred, your power place, in your meditation, your spiritual realm, where you go and commune with these other souls, knowing that you are fully supported at all times. But again, the goal is to keep your unwavering, and I'm going to go back to the cards here, your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and intention, your focused intention, your clear intentions. And this is, again, why we must be so precise, so clear about what it is that we want, what the intention is, right? We're flexible. What do they say? Be stubborn about your goals, but flexible about your methods. We're flexible about how the intention comes, but we're clear on what exactly the intention is, and not just what it is, but why. Why do we want this? It helps to enhance our life purpose. Walking in my life purpose fully supports me. Whatever. But again, being your focused intention, going outside, and the big thing we get from this card is not only to go outside, that I think this is very literal in the sense that a lot of us are on our phones, on our computers, in front of the television quite a bit, laptops, tablets, whatever. And if we're not on them, they are around us. One of the things, guys, that has really helped me improve my sleep instantly and dramatically, not only do I shut my phone off at night, but I charge it in a completely different room. It's literally at the opposite end of my apartment. Like, I do not sleep with my phone, even when I shut it off, because it is still emitting. It is still emitting. Kind of like how when you shut your computer off, but and even though it's not plugged in, and you turn it on, and the clock is still right, because the battery's still moving, it's still emitting electromagnetic energy. So we need to clear our energetic fields. This is why we've been getting so many cards. I mean, for me, it's becoming clear to understand why we've been getting so many cards about putting our feet in nature, getting your hands in the earth, working with plants and plant essences. This is to help clear us, not only to ground us, to allow that divine energy to flow down to the earth, but also to help clear out all that electromagnetic fog that's in our energy field. Clear it out. Balance yourself between day and night, between water and land. Balance, balance, balance. And then again, finally, creating boundaries within ourselves. Love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. Because if you're focused on their demands, you're not focused on your intent, right? You're not focused on what you're supposed to be focused on. You're not keeping your thoughts and feelings and actions are now wavering. So again, it's not to say you cut people off and you can no longer talk to them or help them with anything, but to create clear-cut boundaries. Love yourself enough. Love yourself enough to understand. And even if you don't love yourself enough, love the world enough to understand that you have a mission. You have a light that needs to shine for them. And in order for your light to shine at its brightest and to continue to get brighter, you need to maintain boundaries. If anything, just to make life easier on yourself. How's that? If anything. Drea says, Javon, another good book is Understanding Your Potential. Speaks on how God is not outside of us, but within us. How we're meant for grateful if we just tap into the parts of ourselves. Hey, Javon, have an amazing weekend, and we will see you later in the week. And definitely, again, I'm so excited. You are absolutely going outside. Please take some time to stick your feet and hands in the ground, be in nature, all that good jazz. And we will catch you on the flip side. Bye, lady. All right, so guys, I think that really, I want to make sure we don't have one other card. I feel like we might be getting one other card. And wow, our Divine Circus is really talking to us. I'm like, are you sure? Yep, because I was actually thinking more of a crystal. Divine Circus, what do you have for us today? Let's get one more card. And I just heard shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. All right, so we are going to shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Thank you, Divine Circus. Oop, there it is. Oop, there it is. Oh my, this card is certainly fascinating. Nebula Warrior. Nebula Warrior. I like her. She's kind of pretty, isn't she? She's like, she's got that, she's super mysterious. Like, she spells badass to me. No. Let's see what Nebula Warrior has to say for us. There are advocates for love on this earth. Those that are passionate defenders of the freedom for all beings to grow and fulfill their divine destiny. These warriors for the soul know they can either use darkness to serve the growth of the light or allow it to consume their hope, their sense of hope, trust, and faith in the outworking of the destiny of all living things. You are being initiated in the ways of working with the darkness constructively to become a soul warrior for living beings. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. Some things in life are worth fighting for, but how do you fight with love? How do you fight without becoming bitter, hateful, tired, disconnected, from the whole reason you needed to fight in the first place. To be a warrior for love and soul, you have to be smart. You have to know how to fight without fighting, how to use the natural darkness on this planet as a way to birth new consciousness that is unafraid. Nebula Warrior isn't afraid of the dark. She isn't interested in the rules of war established by fear-loving minds. She creates her own rules, not based upon what people want her to believe, but based upon what works to keep her free and liberate the minds and hearts of all beings. She comes to you now because whatever situation needs healing in your life or in the world, you have the power to bring it about. If you go for the goal directly, trying to force a change, you will be putting considerable energy into pursuit and unintentionally set up resistance and repulsion. The stronger your energy, the more powerful this resistance will become. This is not the best use of your power. You want your power to work for you, not against you. Creating responses of assistance and attraction, guiding rather than forcing the solution to come into being is more effective use of your power. Then you can disempower negative influence and disarm naysayers while drawing to you helpers and opportunities to attain your goals, all from a relaxed, positive, loving state of mind. I want to reread all of that. Creating responses of assistance and attraction, guiding rather than forcing the solution to come into being is a more effective use of your power. Then you can disempower negative influence and disarm naysayers whilst drawing you to help others, whilst drawing you to your helpers and opportunities to attain your goals from a relaxed, positive, loving state of mind. You will get the result without losing your control. The best way to do this is to practice being yourself to a place that is calm and compassionate within. So first off, I want to come right back here because literally said, then you can disempower negative influences and disarm naysayers while drawing to you your helpers and opportunities to attain your goals from a relaxed, positive, loving state of mind. A goddess understands how to transform situations using her highest influence to make her visions and dreams a reality. Y'all, hold on. I'm sorry. Let me go back to the card. Oh, my Lanta. Okay. Do what you can each day. If you cannot do something you want to, ask for help from the universe and then let it go. When you need rest, take it. These apparently small choices create a powerful field of magnetism. Reading too much into the word. These apparently small choices create a powerful field of magnetism to attract and increase love and light on this planet, empowering the human heart with the understanding that the truth is always very simple. The forces in the world that profit from fear instead of love will try to confuse and overwhelm you into paralysis and inaction, and into worrying rather than acting. Remember the Snow Queen? Don't fall prey to that nonsense. You are a warrior of love, and you will win in any and every war through cool compassion and smart, simple strategy. I just don't even know what to say. Nicole says, wow, yeah, there you go, Nicole. That's about all you really can say. She comes to you now because whatever situation needs healing in your life or in the world, you have the power to bring it about. Right? If you go for the goal directly, trying to force a change, you'll be putting your considerable energy into a pursuit and unintentionally setting up resistance and repulsion. So again, guys, one of the things I talked about this the other day, using discernment, and I know I was trying to get to a point and it just was getting a little wonky. I think it was on Saturday. But using discernment as we talk to people. But ultimately, what we're getting from this isn't about going out and preaching the gospel, right? And I don't say that to be offensive, but this isn't about going out and spreading the good word. This is a lot about, because again, we don't want to force people. When we force people, that's when we create resistance and repulsion, right? But a better use of our energy is creating responses of assistance and attraction. So remember how we used the analogy earlier about how a lot of times when we're kind of doing our thing, when we're living inside the kingdom, we're letting our light shine, we're walking our path, we're working out every day, and people are like, yeah, right on. Maybe we work out, they're like, yeah, she's still working out. And then all of a sudden, they see these amazing results, and they're like, holy cow, I need your help. Where should I start? This is what we're getting at. While we're working out, we're not going around telling everybody else, you need to work out, you need to meditate, you need to do yoga, you need to take control of your life. We are working from a state of being, from the state of the I am. We don't have to move with force, right? We are the force. So again, creating responses of assistance and attraction rather than forcing the solution to come into being is a more effective use of your power. You can then disempower negative influences, exert your control over the naysayers, okay, and disarm naysayers whilst, so you get rid of all the haters and all the BS, all while at the same time drawing your helpers and opportunities to attain your goals from a relaxed, positive, loving state of mind. And let's be very clear about that. This is all from a relaxed, positive, loving state of mind. We are not keeping our focused intention out of a place of fear and lack and what if and distrust. This is out of a place of joy and abundance. Remember the fairy from yesterday, the one that said practice, practice, practice? What was she doing? She was in like her secret garden. She was having fun. She was relaxed. Okay, guys, I hope you're seeing the connection between all of this. I hope you're seeing the connection. Focused intention. Get balanced and create boundaries. Focused intention, get balanced, and create boundaries. And then finally, in doing so, our Nebula Warrior reminds us how powerful we are just by simply being. Just by simply being. Not moving with force, but from a relaxed, positive, loving state of mind. And I think that's a good reminder, you know, the more powerful we become, and I don't say that in a spooky way, but the more we increase our magnetism, the more we increase our self-knowledge, our self-understanding, the more powerful we become, the more influence we have on others. And we have to be careful in exerting that influence, because for someone who is not ready, it will be met with resistance. And now we're being counterproductive, right? The goal is not to force someone into doing something. The goal is to help them to see it for themselves, to step into their own God or goddess life, to step into their life purpose, their life path. And again, these small choices create a powerful field of magnetism to attract and increase love and light on this planet, empowering the human heart with the understanding that the truth is always very simple. Because we make things so gosh darn complicated. And this is what I love about quantum science, because at the end of the day, it comes down to the quanta, which is like the simplest form, right? So I really, I'm going to go ahead and stop there, because I just feel that the energy is like, okay. Sorry, guys, I'm just deciphering some words. So I think the biggest thing our goddesses want us to be aware today is we're coming further and further. Oh, I moved the card. We're coming further and further into deeper understanding. We've gotten these cards so many times in, you know, the last several months or last few months, but they've gone from a more literal standpoint to a more holistic standpoint of mind, body, and spirit, especially now that we're understanding the importance of our clear-cut intentions, you know. I think we have a full moon coming on the 8th and 9th of July. So, what's that, the end of this week? Let's see, yeah, Saturday. So again, working with our intentions, keeping our unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions, creating those boundaries that allow us to focus on what's most important in living our life purpose and walking our life path, all right? And knowing that Nebula Warrior, I mean, in this card, she's just so freaking awesome. That we move from a relaxed, loving, peaceful state. We move from the I am state, right? So I think we're getting some very, very, very clear, direct message on what it is we are to do. And again, the one thing that I guess that is on me to just keep stressing is, you know, be stubborn about your goal, but be flexible about your methods. Let go of how you feel it has to happen and allow the universe to move. Allow the quantum to work in your favor. Don't restrict it. Right? The vibration you are putting out is what you are attracting towards you. Keep that unwavering thought and feeling. Again, this is why I love the science aspect of it, because once you understand the science aspect of it, it's not a crapshoot like, oh, I hope this is working. You understand the science of it. No, I know that when I do this, this happens. And you start to be able to create predictable results in your life. All right, guys. I love you lots. You know the deal. Grab some more water. Chug a lug. Hit like when you're done. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm being told just to shut up. All right. So there will be more on this. I think we're gonna start moving a little deeper, but we'll see what our guides and guidesses have for us. I'm so glad you guys were able to join us. Thank you or join me to step into the goddess realm. I am so excited with all the messages that we've been getting, guys. And also, I'll be attaching links for those of you who want personal or private readings. I did get a lot of that set up last night as well, so that you can get directly onto my calendar and just schedule when it's convenient for you. So lots of new things coming this week. There'll be small, subtle changes, so just keep an eye out here and there. Love you lots. Have an awesome day. I sincerely hope that you are relaxing today, and that you also have tomorrow to relax as well. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, and get outside. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.